Hello everyone, it's Yogi here. I hope you're well. Oh my goodness, Sunday evening. And I hope you're ready for a spot of stitching. You know, the UK time has changed. We moved back 1 hour. So usually this would have been 9:30 p.m. So you probably notice the time delay there. So if you until your winter time kicks in, or maybe if you don't have winter time, just readjust the time and knowing that the UK time has moved back for 1 hour. I haven't noticed any difference at all. And but yes, we're officially moving into the winter time, and so today this is the whip of my choice. Okay, so if you don't know already, on Sunday, our festive stitching, we're moving the festive stitching to Wednesdays now. So every Wednesday we get together and to stitch next week, this coming Wednesday, we're still doing Halloween. It's going to be the final week for the Halloween stitching. And from the week onwards, until Christmas, we're doing Christmas stitching. Okay, of course you can do any kind of celebrate sort of festive stitching, whatever you celebrate, and just join me, and every Wednesday we'll get together and do those pieces. And next Wednesday we're starting a new Christmas piece. Okay, just so we'll talk about a little bit more later on if you're new to the channel and new to the chat here. So this piece is by Ciro Marchetti. So normally Ciro Marchetti piece, we have Ciro Marchetti Monday. Okay, so now we release the Monday and Wednesday for Kim Jacobs and free up the days so you can stitch whatever you want. So today is, one of those stitch whatever you want days. And going forward, maybe we will have more theme days, and we just allow things to evolve organically and do whatever is fun for us. There's no playbook. We do what we want. So this piece, as I said, is Ciro Marchetti, and it's a mini piece. I have several mini pieces from Heaven and Earth, and I really enjoy them. By no means they're small. And let me show you the markup here. Here we go. It's so beautiful. And it's got a view outside. I've got several pieces that's got cozy room on the inside, and then a beautiful view to the outside. There's something about that is just irresistible. And look at the fabric. A couple of days ago, I was doing the winter reading nook by Amy Stewart, and it's got very similar kind of feel to it. There are a lot of cozy fabric and warm, cozy things inside, and then when you look out, there's a beautiful landscape there. And so this piece is definitely one of my favorite, but also a lot of confetti, guys. Okay, even though it's a mini piece, for Heaven and Earth mini and regular, they both have about 90 colors. Okay, so smaller the piece is, in theory, there's actually more confetti. So mini is by no means easy. Okay, and let me show you where I am with this piece. Would you believe, guys? Slow, Stitch Yogi by now. I have it, on my channel title there. I'm a little bit slow, okay? I have no problem with that. And I do not hide it, okay? Full transparency here. This is no speeding stitching channel here, okay? But look at this. Let me show you the stat here. This is where I am, okay? Diagonal stitching here, pretty much, and this is the entirety of the piece. And let's look at the stat here. Look at the percentage. Just have a look. Yes. Can you read it? 20.91, guys. This is probably most advanced in terms of percentage out of all my whips. I know it's a mini, but it counts, right? This is 20%, 0.9. And, you know, today, do you think I'll be able to move forward to 21%? Oh, today will be a milestone if that happens. Okay. And so I'm looking forward to it. And if you look at the number of colors, just under 90 colors, 89 colors. And I have completed 15,000, over 15,000 stitches, I ask you. I'm actually quite surprised because it just feels like maybe I haven't worked on this piece that frequently, you know, but things happen like this. And so I am going to remove this sprint here to avoid confusion, okay, and ignore the stitch number of the last sprint. I mean, I haven't worked on this piece probably for a month by now, and that's why I'm so surprised. This piece, and also my chocolate shop, maybe the chocolate shop, they're both you know, pretty advanced in terms of the percentage. So here I am. I'll talk a little bit about how I'm going to proceed with the stitching today. So let me move back to my view here. And I want to say hello to you. Welcome. Welcome to join me today. Yesterday we had double streaming yesterday, you know, and I'm so happy you're here, and particularly those who was there for both streams. Well done, my beautiful soldiers. And so today, who have we got in the chat with me today? Let's have a look. The first to report to the chat is our Brittany. Well done, Brittany says hello everyone. The first in the chat. And then we have Alandria and says say hello to Brittany. Very polite. Absolutely. And our stitchers love each other, okay? And then we have Serena as well. Welcome. Hello, hello. Happy to stitching. I think the winter time is all over Europe, right? So Serena, I'm sure your clock moved back as well, even though Serena has to wake up pretty early every morning there. So good to see you. And Sylvia is also here, coming stitch pattern. Happy Sunday. And Captain Squirrel here nice and early. Well done and welcome. And Rachel Morton is here as well. And Heather Houston, happy Sunday. And Brandy is also here. Good to see you. And Natty is back to join us. And let's have a look. Who else is here? And Betty Lou Taylor is also here. And she says, hello, Stitcher folk, fabulous rainy day to cozy in and stitch. Absolutely, Betty. Rainy days are the best days for stitching. Every day is a good day to stitch, okay? But it's nice and cozy. And Leslie is also here. Welcome. And Busy Mom as well. And Nikki. Guys, Nikki is hiding something from us, okay? She's being a little bit sneaky. But Nikki, I know because I pay attention. I have eyes, okay? I'm afraid of eyes, but I have eyes. I watch you, Nikki. Nikki is having a stream, right? Am I correct? Have I got the time right? Nikki is having a stream right after this one, I think, time-wise. We normally run toward till about midnight UK time, and I think Nikki is starting shortly after that. So guys, if I got the time correct, you're in for a treat today. So today is a mini relay. It's unofficial. I just made it up. After our stream here today, we can pop over to Nikki's and to have a play there. Okay? How's that? And I won't be able to stay for too long, but I'll do my best, okay? Because that is going to be midnight after here. So Nikki's having a stream today, guys. Here we go. And Grace Houston is also here. Happy Sunday. And Amira Fire. Oh, have we got a new stitcher in the chat there? My goodness. Welcome. And Frida is also back here. So good to see you. And Belinda as well. Welcome. Ashley Wilkinson. And Susan, my love, is here. Okay. Always happy to see Susan. And Chrissy as well. Welcome. And Suvi as well. Welcome back. And Suzanne, my love, good to see you. And Michelle Fuller and Mandy Morong is back with us. And Colette as well. My goodness. And we also have Cassie Hapler. And let's have a look. Oh, Kimberly is also here as well. Yogi, you're rocking. I know the percentage is crazy, isn't it? I'm pretty sure for this piece, the percentage is growing by itself. I'm not stitching it. It just keeps going up. I don't know what's happening. It's one of the strange phenomena that's happening with my whips. And let's have a look. Lini Stitches is also here with us, and Becky Nook. Hello, hello, and Miriam as well. And yes, guys, so good to see you. And Amira is guilty for being new. No, not at all. We love newcomers, and thank you so much for saying hello. A lot of lurkers, okay? If you're lurking, come forward to say hello, and you can go back and lurk again. It's your birthright. I will not take away from you. And so this piece, I know we're moving toward 21%. I can't believe in myself. Majority of my whips are firmly single digit, and I'm very comfortable with that. That's my comfort zone, okay? And so here, oops, earthquake. I just knocked my camera arm there. Let's not do that again. So, you know, yesterday, if you're here, I did a demo stream demonstrating the block by block diagonal parking. And you know, that session really makes me miss the method. So you know what? You know, today I'm gonna apply the stitching method block by block. And as you can tell, this was actually how I started this piece. There's several pieces I've got that's over 2 years. That's pretty much my default starting method, because that was the first parking method I learned. Block by block, color completion, and then diagonally, you know, moving forward here. So you can see the formation of my stitches here is very much reflecting that. But at some point, I started to go rogue, and I started to go do mini cross country, and I blame Nikki for it, okay? And so, but today I'm going to rein it back a little bit and back to the basics, back to the ground zero of my stitching here, and maybe making this piece my block by block diagonal parking piece. You know, every piece I apply slightly different stitching method, and I do change within the piece from time to time. But this one, I feel the you know, just looking at the completion area here is a great candidate for me to slowly move it back to a more, you know, traditional, conventional, if you could call it, block by block method. And it's interesting and fun to follow the rules sometimes, okay? It's great to break the rules, and I do that all the time. But this piece, I think, would be a great candidate for me to kind of, you know, apply this method and see where I go with it. And also this area, I've been trying to avoid it for a little while for good reasons, because there's a lot of confetti, and you can tell already it's confetti everywhere here. Those glass panels, they look harmless. Oh my goodness, a lot of confetti, and not to mention there's a little blanket on the left there. Confetti festival going on here, okay? It's going wild. So this method will keep things in control, and this is my game plan tonight, okay, for this piece. So I'm going to look at my blocks here, and then start to pick a one that I can pick as starting point, probably this one here, because now I have two blocks that's kind of parallel to each other. So it will be a good starting point for me to start to bring this block downwards to create that stair shape formation there. And so that's my plan today. What is your plan then? Do you have a plan for your piece? And join me and let me know what you're working on today. I made my hot chocolate again. I made one yesterday in ages, and I loved it so much. I made another one for today. It's in my flask, and also a fresh cup of coffee. I know. And so let me bring on my view here for you. My app view here, okay, and I've got my sprint running, and also a mock-up for you as a reference. And as I said, maybe I think I'm going to start from this method. So if you watch yesterday's demo and think, wow, that looks like fun, you know, the way Yogi does, it's always fun, right? And and maybe today you'll be able to watch me stitching, actually applying the method for this piece. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to do a little bit of pass thread management here. I'm going to move away the threads I don't need. So I am going to start with this block here, okay, and then I'm going to move the threads that I don't need to the side. You can do it however you want. Normally I just pull it to right there, so it's out of the way. And those at the bottom, I am also pulling them diagonally away from me. I don't need them. And those active ones, I need to tease this bit out and divide them correctly. So these ones belong to the block on the right there, okay? To the right there. So thread management is very much part of the method. If you can keep the threads nice and tidy, it feels very orderly. It's a great way of stitching. And the active pass thread, I'm going to start clearing. I'm going to pull them to the upper left here, because I am going to follow the pass thread from this direction upwards and clear the pass threads one by one. Okay, this is pretty confetti area, so it's a good one to watch, because it probably wouldn't get more, you know, I wouldn't say complicated, but more color changes than this one typically. Okay, and here we go, guys. I'll try to catch up with the chat, okay? And if you just joined and I haven't said hello to you, sincere apologies. I do my best. Hey, Jackie, I've spotted one. Jackie, well done. Lurker, check in. Yes, everyone. Jackie is checking in. Good girl, good girl. And yes, lurkers, come forward. You can just check in and go back lurking again, okay? And Jackie says, I'm listening while I stitch on Traveling Library. Yes, that's our Saturday style, and you can stitch the piece any day. Every day is Amy Stewart Day. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll probably bring a highlight here for you, just so you know which area I'm stitching. So I'm going to move this block here. This was my last area when I was doing sort of cross country there. So I'm going to bring it down to the active block I'm doing here. Okay, so this one will be under the flowers, so way back here. So these two are there are two blocks side by side, so I'm going to make it more diagonal. So I'm going to start with this block, and maybe I should change the color of the highlight of the border, just make it a little bit easier to see there. Let's make it yellow then. Okay, and I'm going to zoom it in. Okay, so you know which block I'm stitching, and all the pass threads are marked already. So let's go. Okay, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, yesterday's demo really reignite my love for this way of stitching. And it's very orderly, very relaxing, because you're really only focusing on one block. You don't have to look anywhere beyond, you know, other than when you park. So I've already have quite a few park threads there. So you can tell that there's a, if you don't follow the staircase shape, what can happen is you just end up with a lot of part threads. Sometimes I stitch out of order, and this is what happens. So there are good reasons to follow that staircase, you know, shape there. So everything's in order. You can stitch in sequence, and also not to have duplicated colors everywhere. Okay, if you stitch out of order, that can happen because you need to introduce threads of the same colors in multiple area more often. So let me pick a color here, and I'll come back to the chat. How's that as a plan? So as you can see, because I part all my threads in order, so everything from my starting point of the first stitch is downwards. I don't have any stitch up there that I have to run into my part threads. So that's why you need to park in a correct order to maintain, you know, the peace of your block, of all the part threads here. So it's a beautiful pink to start with. I'm already loving it. I always tell you, I know I have picked the right whip if I just feel this joy, you know, flowing out of my heart as soon as I start stitching. And I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that rush. And yes, this is the right piece for sure. Let me move up a little bit and let me look around. Okay, so this one is very simple. As you can see, I have no stitches around in anywhere nearby. So I am going to just do a tuck in here, nice and easy, and clear this thread away. And by the way, this is 25 count DMC fabric, ungridded, and I'm using DMC floss 1/1 full cross 606. I'm going to pop it back here and let me catch up here. Oh, Cassie says, hi everyone. Today has been relaxing for me. My husband had emergency surgery last Monday. He's still in hospital. He's doing well. Oh, wonderful, Cassie. So happy to hear that. Yes, it must be stressful, and now you can relax a little bit. I'm glad everything's going well. The husband is doing well. I'm sending my love to you. Here we go. Oh, you know what? I missed one stitch. There's one stitch on the left there. I missed it. Okay. Oh, no. It's there. Oof. Okay. So that was stitched from the last session for some reason. I thought I missed it. That's good. All is well. All is well. Let me switch to the next one here. And I can keep my chart locked and just hit the bucket to mark, so I don't need to unlock and manually mark unless there are quite a lot of stitches, but within 10 by 10 is quite manageable. I occasionally have to mark as I go if it's a larger area, but today it's not a problem. So we keep things very simple, and I'm going to just pop down there, no problem. There's no stitches of this color on the right block there. I'm going to just park it down here and mark it. Oh, so relaxing. I love it already. Guys, you need to try this method. If you've never tried it before, it's very nice. You know, it makes confetti very manageable because you're really only looking at this block here, and you don't have to start and stop and find your threads everywhere, left, right, and center. You just keep going, okay? I'm already the third color there, and I have a stitch on the right I can park, which is fantastic. And Brittany says, no full coverage for me today. I'll be working on Variant of Interest by Long Dog Sampler. And Nikki says, wow, probably referring to my 20%. I know, Captain Squirrel say 20%, let's go. Yes, indeed. Maybe today we're going to cross over to 21. Who knows? I don't know how many stitches are involved in order to move that 0.1%. Who knows? I can't count. Here we go. Let me warm up these little hands. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There. That's my parking. And then you just, you know, bring the part thread up there to join the rest of the thread. And let me mark this one. And I love the fact that Saga is allowing you to mark outside your highlight box. You can't mark any threads, but you can park. You can park threads. Becky says, hi friends, it's cold and rainy Sunday here in Kansas, US, and I've already stitched 829 stitches. Amazing. Oh yes, that kitty piece with a lot of 310s. Amazing. It takes some willpower to get through that much, that many 310 stitches. I mean, Nikki doesn't mind. Nikki's a 310 stitcher. Next one here. Oh, a lot of one stitches. So this one, I actually already have another one part on the right there. So I'm gonna see if I can part down. Maybe I would. There's stitches one block away, so it's a little bit further, but why not? Let's do it. It's not too bad. One block away, I can cope. So it's actually not in the block below, it's below that. I already have one thread part there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. It's that one. I need to mark it. And then I'm going to part this one down properly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Miriam says, that is looking gorgeous, Yogi. Thank you so much, Miriam. Let me catch up with the chat here. Nikki says, blocks are fun. I know. It's quite a nice reset from cross country. You know, yesterday I was doing, you know, free range cross country, Nikki style, but today I'm coming back to the basics. Oh, I need to lock my block there. Yes, here we go. Good. One stitch here. And moving up. So I normally go this direction. So even though this thread is higher than this one, I prefer to clear from the outside in, like this direction. So reverse. All right. Here we go. And Natty says, I'm still working on Merry Mushroom Cottage by Amy Stewart. I love this one. I'm doing typewriter. Ooh, typewriter method. Drinking a ice cold Diet Pepsi. I find typewriter is really good method to start, particularly if you start from the top left or, you know, from the top of the highest point of the piece, because it creates a very neat border to start with and it feels good, doesn't it? And this one I'm going to park over here in the next block, which is what I'm going to do next-ish. Here we go. Miriam says, I was working on Trick or Treat by Randall Spangler and forgot to take a photo to post, or got to remember and post on our Facebook. And if you haven't joined our Facebook already, Facebook group, it's there and the link is in the description. And that's where we find support and also share our whips as well and banter. It's great fun. When we're not streaming, you have the Facebook group, you know, to connect with each other. Here we go. Next one. Nice and easy. Really enjoying it. Natty says, I am finally working in Saga. Like it. However, how do you change the view of you already stitched parts where it's not so light? And Natty, are you using the Which version are you using? iOS or Android? So that probably makes some difference there. I'm using iOS on Apple. So there are ways you can adjust the transparency, not transparency, the visibility of the background or active stitches. It's quite flexible, but you just need to know how to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really nice that I don't need to look beyond one block. There's something so great about that. Because cross country, you have to look everywhere. But of course, I want to count properly when I park. Very nice. Amira says, I'm working on a stamped cross stitch of colorful jellyfish. Oh, that reminds me of the Sao jellyfish, a jellyfish piece that everybody was working on for a while. No one's working on that piece anymore. Jelly World, was it Jellyfish World or Jelly World? Slightly different piece. Lakika is here. Hello, hello. Let me go up. I probably miss everybody's updates here. Susan says blanket stitching the raw edges of my long dog piece. Blanket stitching. Do you mean literally a blanket stitches? Drinking hot chocolate, Susan. Join me, or me joining you, really. And Susan, I saw your piece about finishing the border, the top border of your traveling library. So Susan is working on 16 counts on traveling library, I'll ask you. And I think she managed to do the entire border of the width, the top row, right? And a little bit beyond as well. And that's very exciting. So you know the size of the full width of the piece. I've never done that. It's got to be fun. Here we go. Just one stitch here. I can park down with this one. Oh, the strategy game has started. Suzanne is working on Unicorn Valley and just has some cacao. Is that the same as hot chocolate? Because I use almond milk and cacao powder, unsweetened, and I can adjust the sweetness myself. I don't like the premixed ones. It's more convenient, but I don't know what's in it. 1, 2, 3. And below. Put a mark here. Lovely. Nikki says, frogging my extreme cross-country stitching shelf that I'm using for 6 portals and coffee. So, Nikki, are you doing the divide and conquer method? I thought you have already frogged everything. So, are you frogging as you go? That's got to be challenging. Because Nikki is removing all the stitches of a previous piece on the fabric so she can reuse the fabric for her 6 portal stitching. But as you know, Nikki does extreme cross country. So you can imagine, the stitches are everywhere. Oh, what's happening there? Why am I... That is not correct. I just popped something that it maybe shouldn't be there. Let me wind back to see what's happening there. Because I'm picking up something that I thought I've already stitched. So which stitch is this? Okay. So this stitch is incorrectly parted. I need to pay attention. So I'm on here, That is bizarre. So that is correct there. Okay. Which one is this then? What color is this? Rhetorical. Okay, I have no idea. I don't know why this one is here. This is not correct. So this one, I need to have a look here. Let me flip back to see which ones. Oh, I see. Maybe this one is trying to match up. Yes, I know what's happening here. I think I have done this one by mistake. Yes, I think I have. So that's quite okay. I would just highlight this, rethread this. So I picked up the incorrect thread. That there was one part threads I didn't mark, and I just picked it up and start stitching. There you go. I fixed it. I think the color is correct. 1, 2, 3. 3 stitches from the left. Brandy says, I have a hazelnut matcha today, and I'm working on my witching sister piece. Very nice. Is that Halloween themed? Sounds very nice. I think this is the correct number, color. 1, 2. Oh, I can park it to the right there. I might do so actually. The space is still clear, so when I get to it, it's ready for me. 1, 2 here. So you can tell it's very confetti, this area. There are already quite a few part threads here waiting for me. Here we go. This one, for some reason, I need to review this. And this one, now this one's correct. For the next one, I'm going to pick just 1 stitch. Rachel Morton says, this afternoon I stitch on my a chatelaine autumn fog hydro. It's a very long name. Have mercy for Yogi. And tonight is Halloween cocktail. Oh, I know. Yes, I've seen your update on that cocktail. It's going really well, isn't it? Yes, please post the updated webs. That piece is quite large as well. I don't know what fabric count you're stitching in, but it's quite a lot of work, I bet. Intricate. And Suvi says, I'm working on the traveling library and watching F1 with the other eye. Wow, I hope they're not cross-eyed. I hope the eyes are not going the wrong direction. 2 eyeballs. They're pointing toward each other or away from each other. Neither is positive. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me pick that one. All right, so there's another one with 2 stitches here. This one I've already parked. I think I've got a very old iPad, so sometimes it's not very responsive. I need to move the chart around. I don't know if it's a Saga thing or it's my iPad thing. Sometimes I can tap and tap or try to long press, no response. And I literally have to move the chart around in order to make it work. So this one I'm going to part down here. All right. Abney, hello. Abney says, hey, I'm working on traveling library since I didn't stitch yesterday. Oh, very naughty, Abney. Keep stitching, okay? So now today you have to do a double amount of homework. And I need to watch Yogi as well. Oh, a lot for you to do. Busy. Elandria is working on traveling library as well. I know. That piece is so beautiful, isn't it? I think I'm gonna do this one here, which is not marked. Very naughty of me. So let me mark that. Because I transferred this chart from Pattern Keeper. And then when I moved it over to Saga, I kind of started cross country, so I have not come back to update all the stitches in this area, which I was parking. So I had to manually do that, but it's not perfect. I miss stitches, so I just need to fix it as I go. 2 stitches, I can part to the right here. Rochelle, hello. She says, hi Stitchy peeps. Hope all are well. Stitching traveling library. A lot of traveling library stitcher tonight. Amazing. And have hot tea with lemon and a bit under the weather. Oh, Rochelle, you're going to feel so much better. You know, you're here. We're here. Great energy for you. And lots of love. Janine is here as well. Hello, everyone. I missed all the fun yesterday. Oh, naughty, Janine. You have to catch up, okay? Catch up with the replay, do your homework. Yesterday was really fun. Well, it's fun every day. We're so spoiled. We get to meet every day and just talk about whatever we want. And every day is a surprise. And we do a little bit of stitching as well, you know, on the side. And Nikki, are you going to reveal what piece you're going to be stitching tonight? You know, if it's calamari lady, then I have to come in. I need to wear my shades, just, you know, to protect myself. Okay, give me a little bit of a warning there. Donna Marie Middleton. Hello, let me find your comment here. Hang on. Here we go. We have another new joiner here in the chat. Donna Marie Middleton says, hi, I'm a new subscriber and this is the first time I have caught you live. I am stitching Marine to life, but not right now as it's 1 a.m. in Oman. Oman? Oman is in Middle East? I'm so sorry if I made it if I made a mistake. I'm not great with geography. I'm not great with many things, and probably not that great with stitching as well. You probably will find out very soon. So Oman, where is that? Welcome, welcome. 1 a.m. You can stitch at 1 a.m. Yogi routinely stitch beyond midnight. On Mondays and Fridays. It's allowed. It's allowed. Let me pick this one. You see, I've cleared out majority of the apart threads here. Only 3 and 4 left. Very nice. So relaxing. And Kimberly says, my steampunk owl piece I'm stitching, in a message you were doing, Yogi. Oh, amazing. You're doing block by block, parking diagonal. How nice. Yes, this is the first parking message I came across. And the reason I was looking high and low on YouTube for some sort of different way of stitching this my piece was I had no idea the how to tackle full coverage piece up to that point, because prior to that I was doing much simpler patterns, like dimensions, that type of thing, even though there were few maybe 2 or 3 patterns I had. They were technically full coverage, but it wasn't, there was no confetti, and the colors are minimum, maybe around 40 colors, not even that, I don't think. And then lo and behold, I was confronted by a proper full coverage piece. So I didn't know what to do, because I tried my previous my regular stitching method. It was just not flying. I was struggling, so many color changes. So I was looking around to see if someone knows something, I didn't have anything in mind. I didn't know parking existed. And when I found the parking method, my mind was blown. I didn't know you could stitch like that. I was instantly mesmerized. And I thought, well, I need to learn this. I don't care. I need to learn this. And here I am. And Busy Mom is stitching A Nightmare Before Christmas and Drinking Water. Very nice, Busy Mom. Brittany says, I did block stitching yesterday with 310 and managed 300 during the stream and 6-1 total for a day. Amazing. Block stitching at 310 block stitching. Yeah, it can be fun. I can probably manage for 1 block. I need to move on. And yes, divide and conquer. So this one, my thread is, I'm thinking whether I should park because it's running kind of short. So I might just end the thread here. Because if I keep parking next time, it will be slightly harder to pick up and thread. So I'd rather not do that. I'm going to just end it here. Lovely. Let me have a sip on my coffee then, and maybe pay a bit more attention to what you're saying. Brittany says most people are done with this year's SAL, signed up for the next year's start November 1st. Oh, so the current SAL, Heaven and Earth SAL, finishes the last day of the year, as far as I can remember. But you have to sign up for the next one now, pretty much. in November, 1st of November. And is there a deadline for sign up? Not that I want to, okay, no chance. But wow, so they have to commit by 1st of November. Well, better you than me. Good luck. I don't like anything with deadlines. I know. I don't like it. So our saws are very easygoing. No targets, goals, number of stitches to hit. We're just here stitching. That's it. Very nice. Next one. Whoops. Oh, seriously. That is not correct. Here. But I'm stitching pinks, which is nice. And I'm waiting for my fabric to arrive for my Christmas piece. Oh, I'm slightly nervous. So the Christmas song with the Christmas house, I'm going to be stitching house number 2. We're starting on this, I think it's a 6th, Wednesday. Well, it's Wednesday, but it's, I think it's 6th of November. It's a Wednesday. So festive stitching going forward till Christmas is going to be on Wednesdays. And also on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, not every Wednesday, every other Wednesday, I'll be giving away 5 free memberships for a month. So if you'd like to join the lucky dip, you know, what happens is if you turn on the setting, YouTube would choose 5 at a time from people are watching the stream, and then you get a month free membership there. It's good fun. And Wednesday is going to be our Christmas saw. It's in the spirit of giving. It's perfect. So every other Wednesday I'll be doing that, 5 at a time. So come join us. And of course you can join yourself if you'd like to support what I'm doing, the daily stream. Welcome to join the club. The best on the internet, if I may say so myself. All right, so this one, I already have a part thread of the same color on the right there previously. So I am going to just end my stitch here. Oh, hang on. I just noticed something. Can you see what's happening on my block there? These 3 stitches at the bottom right here. I just noticed. I thought, well, that doesn't look right. Look, these stitches, they're baby pink. But if you look at my chart there, they look orange. Are they not correct? Let me double check the color there. Let me finish this stitch here. Okay. Whoops. 603. I didn't notice that. 603 there. So it's useful to reference the swatch, the 2 swatches on top. But let me just mark these threads, these stitches, and check on what this color is supposed to be. So this 606. Oh, hang on. Why does it do that? 606 is pink. So the color is correct, but the representation on Saga is not correct. It looks orange, doesn't it? Does it not? But 606 is this color. So the color is correct. Phew. So it's the chart. I haven't come across this on Saga import. Majority of little, but probably so far, all the color swatches are correct. Some, you know, it's not precise, but it's quite correct, close anyway. But this one is totally off. This one looks orange. Oh, very scary. Let me have a look. 606. So the color on my fabric is correct, but the color here is not. So there's a way I can fix it, but I'm not going to do it right now. But I'll fix it next time. And Subi says, I love yogis. Where am I? Oh, I see warning sign. Why? Why, guys? Let me have a look. Let me... 606 is red? It is? Oh, hang on. Maybe I dot the wrong needle. I dot the wrong needle. It's this is what's on my oh, this is what's on my needle ball. Maybe I dot the wrong color. Okay. Thank you. Let me have a look at my master set. Okay. Yes, I see the warning sign is working. It's working. The fire alarm is working. Okay, 606. 606. Oh, yes, I probably have dot the wrong needle on the wrong number. Yes, you're right. It is 606. So I don't know how long that incorrect number has been on my needle board. So I've got a needle board on my right here. Okay, let me just flash it to you quickly. Okay, don't be scared. It's all good. It's all good. So I've got a needle here. So 6, yes, I probably dot the wrong one over here, 606. That could happen. That could happen. And particularly with me. You know me by now. It's hardly surprising. Okay, so I need to... Should I, guys? We need to take a vote here. Hang on. Let me do this, okay? It's a decision. Let me do a poll, okay? So there are only 3 stitches here. Okay, I just started a poll here, okay? So let me know. If you were me, what would you do? What would you do? Would you frog? Would you fudge? All right, go for it. I need your guidance. So I don't know, because there are only 3. By fudging, I mean simply stitching over it. So I'm not leaving them out, but I'll probably stitch the color over it. Or should I remove the stitches? What say you? Right? Oh, we have more fudge. I'm surprised. Guys, yes. You are my team, okay? Jackie says 100%. Well, fudge. Yes, because they're quite light in color. So they're 1, 2, 3 here and 1 over there. Okay, so I can stitch over. Do I have your permission to stitch over it? Currently it's kind of a split, but 52 says fudge. What do you think? So, yes, if you let me do whatever I want, I will fudge too. Okay, Nikki says it's flowers, fudge. Yes, I know, because there's so much going on there. There's no chance. Even if I left it, which I'm not going to, just leave it. I'm going to stitch over, okay? Yes, let me just take my correct. Oh, I don't know what this color is. I need to leave. I need to do color matching game later on. Yeah, because if it's just slightly different shades of pink, then I'll probably just leave it. But it's orange, so I thought, well, I'll stitch over it. Right? It's very different. It's very different color. But okay, let me look at the percentage here. So I'm kind of split in the middle, but fudging is slightly higher. Slightly higher. Yes. So I'm gonna follow I'm gonna follow the majority by 1%, okay? By 1%. I am going to, right? It's 51% fudge. Oh, okay. Heather says, Yogi, I think that pink color is 604. Let me do a color matching here. Oh my God. Heather has magic eye. 604. Do you reckon it's 604? Let me have a look. 604. But I already have one 604 dot. Oh, do you think they're the same color? Do they look the same to you? I think this one looks a little bit lighter though. This one is 604. 601. Which one is it? 604. This is 604. It's more pink. Do you not think? Let me have a look at my master set there. 604 is this one. Okay. 604 I think is correct. But this one, I just pulled off my needle there. Does that look the same to you? Oops. Does that look the same? It does, doesn't it? 604. Oh, Heather, it's just amazing. She's got magic eye. She's probably got the Neuralink eye implant already. Okay, she's ahead of us. Yes, it's 604. All right, then. Oh, Rachel says it's lighter. Goodness, 603. Do you think it's lighter? 603 is darker, though. Can you see that? So this feels, I don't know, it could be either. I think it's slightly lighter than 603. It could be 604. Now I'm looking at it. See, that matches quite well. I think 604, guys. What do you think? Susan says 603. It's darker. It could be 603. 605. I haven't got 605, so it cannot be. So 605 is not on my master set. So it's got. It looks like 604 to me, guys. What do you think? Yeah, 604. 604. It does match, even though 604. Rochelle, yes, 604. Good, good, good. So I am going to rethread that one because that one I've got already is a little bit shorter. So let me just release that one. 604. So I must have just docked in the wrong number there. So this is 604. Good. Oh, thank you guys. 604. Everybody agrees. Good. Oh, crisis averted. Seriously. Thank you guys. The alarm system is working. Okay, so I'm gonna fudge it. Okay, I think the current vote, I'm gonna remove the poll now. I think that has come to a conclusion. 51. I'm gonna follow the lead. Done. Thank you guys. Here we go. So I'm fudging, okay, but I'm half fudging. The real fudging would be just leave it, which I'm not going to do. Okay, I'm gonna be I'm gonna do a half fudging here. I'm gonna stitch over it and cover the evidence quickly. So let me see if I can part with this one. No, literally just these ones, just these 3 stitches, 4 stitches. So Natty, everybody agrees, is 604. Very nice. So fudging time coming, okay? And keep your eyes closed. At least one eye closed, okay? You know that emoji. Let's fudge. Okay, fudging time. Cue the music. Fudging, fudging, fudging. Fudging, fudging, fudging. We need a new emoji for that. Okay, it's not too bad. It's still nice and flat. Still nice and flat. It doesn't look ugly or anything. And it's good that I'm not I'm not frogging because I tuck one stitch under here to end. So if I release it, it's going to release the end thread as well, which wouldn't be great. Oh, yes, closely eyes. There's nothing to see here, guys. Even though you can hear the background music for fudging, but there's nothing going on here. I'm just doing very ordinary stitching here, like a good girl, okay? Nothing to see here, nothing to see here. All right, I'm covering up my crime scene here, and I'm gonna move over here and do a tuck in, okay? It's all good, all good. A piece restored, piece restored. It's matching the chart now. Let me bring it back here. Oops, this one. All right, it's all good, all good. Very nice. It was a dream, okay? It was a dream. Jimmy was dreaming. 6:06. Okay, I try to darken a correct location for a change. A change. Oh, after that fudging, I just need I need some replenishing of my energy. I'm gonna drink some of my hot chocolate. Guys, hot chocolate coming. And if you don't have hot chocolate, oh, my condolences. You can have some chocolate. I think that counts. And Susan, let's enjoy our hot chocolate here. Okay, I wish I could show it to you, but it's too dangerous, too close to my fabric. But I do have a lovely cup of dark chocolate that I made myself. Yes. Rochelle says, yes, fudge emoji. Rochelle, I'll make one for you, okay? For our members. Heather says, those stitches have an extra depth of color with pink peeking through the red. Just as in real life, pinker petals in the background peek through red. Oh, the observation. Guys, Heather definitely has Neuralink eye implants, okay? So she's slightly ahead of us, I cannot see that. I just see a whole bunch of flowers. That's pretty. All right. Well, in real life, I don't look at flowers that frequently. I talked about my situation with plants, okay? Plants and me, we're not friends. Because I eat plants, maybe they hold grudges against me, all right? If I bring them into my house, they tend to depart and move to another realm very quickly. Oh, lovely, lovely chocolate there. I think yesterday I added too much sweetener. And I realized I like my hot chocolate actually slightly bitter. So today I cut the sweetener a little bit less and it's perfect. Yes, chocolate time. Yes, Natty, you're correct. Heather knows me so well. Yesterday she won the Guess My Stitches, okay? And her strategy is basically whatever she's managed to stitch within the session, she just doubled that number. And yesterday she won. So she's as cunning as a fox, okay? And Heather understands, it takes one to understand one, Heather. She says, clearly, that was your plan all along. You're quite right, Heather. Yes, I try to hide it. I try to disguise the fact that it was part of the plan all along. And I just wanted to, kind of do a demonstration of what happens when you fudge, okay? The methods of fudging, which is important life skills. And yes, it was just purely for demonstration. So there you go. Heather understands. Beautiful. So let me double check with the swatch. now I'm slightly worried because there are shades of pinks everywhere. So here we go. This one I've got one already part to the right. So I might part down one block away actually. Why not? It's not too bad with 25 counts. Rochelle says, I'm using Saga for the second day now and really like it. Hard not to go deranged extreme cross country. Oh, Rochelle, that's a warning from Rochelle. Yes, she's going rogue. Yes, with Saga, you can do, very controlled, sort of stitching method like this as well. And then you can go rogue as well. It's got, I think the color switching, they can make it a little bit more intuitive rather than having to flick the button there. They can just make it double tap or something, just like Pattern Keeper. It will make it easier. There's no need to have to turn that on and off constantly to see the border, of the stitches. It's not necessary. If they can improve that, my God, this app is just tremendous. Let me just scroll back a little bit. I bet I missed a whole bunch of things. Oh, Begs! Hello, we have a new joiner. I'm so sorry. I got distracted by the fudging situation. I forgot. I missed the fact that we have a new joiner here. Begs says, "Hi, Yogi. I'm new here from Australia. I love your work. Thank you so much." Yes, and Australia is waking up by this point because we're moving 1 hour back. So normally by now it's 10:44, but now it's 9:44. What a bargain. Yes, welcome. We love our Australian stitchers. And this one I'm going to move down here. If you like pink, you'll like this block. It's full of pink colors. One, two. Very nice. And if I haven't said hello to you, if you just joined, I'm so sorry. Just wave to me again and, I'll say hello. I'll say hello. Marilyn says, I love that fall is finally here. 73 Fahrenheit. And last week was 90 Fahrenheit. What temperature is that in Celsius? I'm clueless with Fahrenheit. Is that warm or cooler? Yeah, even though technically it's still autumn, right, in the UK as well, but it's starting to feel wintry. The past couple of days feels quite chilly. I'm wearing layers of clothing when I go out. I'm on bicycle as well, so it can be windy. So I'm having layers of clothing. I'm going to park down here, slightly further away, but not too bad, not too bad. And remember to mark the part thread, very important. I need to remember that I do not need to unlock my chart stitching the current method. I keep trying to unlock it because I have to do that, lock and unlock the chart when I'm doing cross country. So the habit it is a habit. Okay, and now let me switch to the next color here. So this one, literally, I have 2 stitches and I can end it. See, I've already cleared all the threads here, Marilyn says 73 is 22 Fahrenheit. Oh, that's perfect. 22 is summer over here. It's very warm. 22 is very good summer weather temperature here. Janine says -1 Celsius here. Oh, already? Remind me where you are, Janine. -Celsius. I know it's getting to feel a little bit like Christmas. Burst into songs. Yes, it's wintry, isn't it? It's nice. It's nice. The changing of seasons is good. You know, I wouldn't like to live in countries that's always, you know, hot, because you probably wouldn't appreciate the changing of seasons. And have you noticed all the countries, they're known for fashion. They always have very clear seasons, 4 seasons. You know, like Milan, Paris, and I don't know, New York as well, isn't it? It's like in the winter it snows, in the summer it's really hot, and then you have, you know, different kind of fashions. I mean, somewhere it's really warm probably would not need to think too much about what they're wearing. That's my assumption. I don't know. This is more interesting, isn't it? As fashion goes. Not that I know anything about fashion. 3609. 3609, let me pop it back. Good. Look, I've cleared all the part threads down here. There were quite a few, probably about 15 of them. And they're all, you know, 1 or 2 stitches here and there. But now I am going to look at my fabric here and start to fill in these stitches. And I'm just looking at the pattern here. It makes sense that I go from top to bottom, because it's not bad. It's not too confetti, the remaining stitches. So I'm going to stitch in order from the top there. Whoops. Or stoppage. Because technically I could use some sort of sorting using Saga, but I think I'm going to just pick the ones I want myself. Good. 956, 956. Another pink. 956. It's a pretty pink. Massachusetts. Oh, already -1. Wow, that's early. So when you get to December, I presume you probably get snowed in. And Heather says it's raining here in California, wine country, which is good, as the grapes grapes have been safely harvested, and the fire season has come to an end. Oh dear, fire season. That doesn't sound great. Wine season sounds great. Grape season sounds great. Fire season doesn't sound that great. Yes, there are sort of fires, there are forest fires in California. An earthquake as well. I'm not moving there, okay? Not anytime soon. It's better you than me, Heather. One, two, and where am I? Am I parking with this one? Let me see. Okay then, I can park. That's acceptable. Park to the right. Captain Squirrels, I have to take my baby squirrel to kindy. So bye-bye. See you later, Captain Squirrel. Good to see you. two over here. So pretty though. Seeing these flowers come together. This flower basket. And I'm going to take it down to the left here. It's a little bit, you know, it's safe to do it because it's still unstitched. This area is still clear, still within my comfort zone. No yogi move is required yet. And then I'm gonna make this one and then take it to the right. It should be okay. It's only crossing a couple of stitches over here, so I'm good with that. And I am moving 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. Oh, hang on. There's only one. There's already one of the same color being part. So, oh, in that case, I'll probably part down. Let me part down. It's a little bit far away because this is the problem when you stitch out of order and not following the sequence of staircase. You just end up with threads of the same color already being parked. So you just end up with more part threads than necessary. Let me park it down here then. How's that? There's another stitch there. And let me unpart that one. Yes, there's already another one on the right there. Nati says, I'm also day 2 of working in Saga and I'm in love. The only negative is the loopholes I have to do to bring the chart. Yes, I know. That's normally where the, you know, stitches kind of go, hang on a second, you know, it's too much work. And I get it. But there are ways, you know, once you figure out how to do it, and we have very helpful Facebook members and, you know, people in the chat here, helping other people converting their chart as well. So that's one option. If you don't want to deal with, you know, the fiddly bits, then the help is there as well. But once you get it converted, you know, you're good to go. No problem there. So the next one, it's an option because, you know, pattern keeper is perfectly good. Oh, 310. I've got a bit of a 310 going there. Yes, lovely. 310. Oh, I'm surprised to find 310 in a bouquet, but you can tell there's some shadowy bits, shades there. 310 coming. And I love my Sunday morning class. I love teaching that class. It's a very, very strong class. And, you know, it's always a full house and people kind of queuing to come in. And they're ready for a challenge. So the sequences I really need to think about for the Sunday morning class because they are looking for, you know, a bit of hard work there. So I go full on with my sequences. I try out really adventurous things you probably don't even know your body can do. They love it. And I've got this lady, she's been coming to my classes regularly. I don't know her age. I think maybe in her 60s. She's just so persistent. And, you know, she's not super flexible, and that's perfectly okay. That's why you do yoga, right? And she's been following the classes, the Sunday morning class, probably for a year now. And she will come pretty much every single Sunday, okay? For Sunday, for a lot of people, they want to have a lie-in. They want some easy time, you know, But there's a whole bunch of people, they want to come in and, you know, face some challenges for the body, but also psychological, for the mind as well. And they come in. So today, and she's been coming to my classes for quite a while. And even though, you know, I can definitely see the improvement. And today she came to me, and because today's class was, you know, pretty challenging as usual. And she came to me afterwards and said to me, you know, there's a lot of room for improvement, she said to me. And I just smiled. And she goes, you know, is it okay if I come back again? I was, you know, she said something very similar to me before, and I just laughed. I said, well, of course you can come back. But today she came to me again and said that. And I said to her, because I think sometimes when you go to a really strong class, and if there are poses you can't do, sometimes you feel a little bit, not bad, but a little bit guilty, because if everybody else can manage, you feel like you're slightly behind, because that's what human mind is. You know, we do comparison, even if other people are not judging us, we judge ourselves, right? And she was definitely doing a little bit of a self-judgment there. And she said, she came to me and go, well, you know, I'll keep coming back. I hope it's okay with you. And I just said to her, seriously, you have the golden ticket to come back every single week. I just find that so interesting. You know, she comes back every week anyway. She's been doing it for a year. But she wanted me to know that she knew that she has, you know, a lot of work to do, and I think she was seeking some sort of reassurance that I'm okay with that, and I was so sweet. It was really sweet. Oh, let's have a look. Janine says, earthquakes are better than fire. Fire is one thing I'm afraid of terribly. Really? They're both scary though, because earthquake is very unpredictable, isn't it? So you don't really have time to run, do you? Whereas fire, yes, fire is no fun. You don't have to choose one or the other. You can be afraid of both equally, okay? Okay, next one's 310 stitches here. So the remaining stitches are not too confetti, I'm glad to report. So 890 here. It's a green. Heather says, I find highlighting in Pattern Keeper a little easier to read than Saga because it fills a highlighted block with color. The part threads are highlighted, marked, color marks in Saga look similar. Well, let me show you this, okay? Yes, it's a good point, and I do agree. Because if you have used Pattern Keeper, you can fill in. So with Saga, you see a border here, and sometimes you can create confusion when you have alternate, stitches. I think Joyce has mentioned that before. So visually, it could be misleading. There is one thing that you could do. I don't know which version you guys are using, okay? Hopefully, it should work for both, but it's not foolproof. So let me show you what I mean here. So with these stitches, okay, so let me release the highlight here just to show you what's happening here. So all the symbol A has been highlighted, and currently I'm using a blue border, here. All right, let me turn up the part threads here for now so it's clearer. So currently I'm using a blue border. It's kind of working okay. I've learned to kind of read it relatively well, but in theory you could, and I say theory because you know why I don't use it. Okay, so let me highlight the stitches panel here. So over here, you probably already know that you can change the thickness of the border. You can make it quite thin, okay, and make it a bit thicker, the border thicker. But if you push all the way to the right with the slider, you see what's happening here? It does fill the box and reverts the symbol in the center. Okay, so it's kind of similar effect. So on Pattern Keeper, I tend to use the highlight color, tend to use green. Okay, so that was my default for Pattern Keeper for highlighting. I do a circle in the middle. So in a way, this is kind of similar. You know what's happening here? But the reason I don't use it is if you look at my chart here, I like to have the symbols visible even when I stitch them. Okay, and the problem is, for whatever weird reason, maybe there's a fix. If you guys know the app really well, maybe you have a fix here. The problem is, even though these are highlighting the unstitched ones, it's quite clear, similar to Pattern Keeper, right? But when they're stitched, for some reason, I lose the visibility of the symbol. And that, for some people, is not a problem. For some people, they like it just like that because they're already done. They want them out of the way visually. They don't want to see the symbol. Personally, I want to see the symbol. And I haven't figured out a way to bring the visibility of the symbol back. So that's why I'm not using it. I can probably do it sort of halfway, but then it starts to blend into actual colors. So this, you know, if you can find, the only problem you would have is if your actual thread colors is this green. So you need to find a color that's very distinctive and you know, different. So that's why I have not, you know, I decided not to use it because all the marked stitches are turned into that green, and I cannot see the actual color because if you look at it, the actual color is dark green, and it's filling all the stitches with the highlight color instead. So for me, it's probably more confusing. That's why I dial the thickness of the border back, and it's easier for me to read. Makes sense? So you could kind of hack it a little bit, but it's not fully working for me. Yeah, Suzanne is offering to help, and River as well, very frequently. Those are 2 stars. They're so kind. And if you just tell them which chart, forward them, just to prove that you have the chart. Of course, they will need a chart to work on it. And then, you know, you can bypass all the fiddly bits. So but I think, you know, if you think Saga it's not for you at the moment, just stick with Pattern Keeper. Pattern Keeper is, you know, it's not perfect, but it's you know, it's perfectly easy to use. It's perfectly good. If you're happy just marking the stitches, find them, that's more than, you know, more than plenty for most people. And I also would like them to maybe modify the symbols for mark threads as well. At the moment, it's a diamond shape, you know, is different, but it's clashing. You know, if I have part thread on top of highlighted stitches, they clash with each other visually a lot. And I just think that can be easily improved. You know, and I like the part symbols with a pattern keeper a lot. It's very clear. You know, and I know a lot of stitchers here using Saga, but you don't have to. You know, if you have the sort of curiosity and patience to work through what is required, then go for it. But don't get stressed about it. You don't need to use Saga. Just stick with Pattern Keeper. It's perfectly good. Perfectly fine. I am going to park it to the right, actually. And hopefully, particularly for Pattern Keeper as well, because it's been the app for a majority of the stitchers for quite a while, I'm guessing. It's nice to have a bit of a healthy competition, isn't it? Because it gives them motivation to continue to improve. Because if you dominate the market and you're just happy with it, you're going to slow down. The motivation is going to be, you know, not there, because, you know, everybody is using it anyway, so there's no need to do that much improvement. But let me bring out the highlight here. Some part to the right there. Going to commit. Very nice. Here we go. So with the border highlight, sometimes if you're not careful, you know, you can misread the in-between stitches. But if you look up the symbol, to be honest, it's very hard to kind of mistaken and misread it. Nati asks, how do you see how many stitches you have done on Saga? On Saga, there's a panel which I show very frequently at the end as well to look at the stitches. So on Pattern Keeper, I know it's on the same screen, but I don't want to turn it into a Saga demonstration, but this is a quick one. You just go to the this icon here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you count the 6 icon from the left, and might be different for from your view, but you can look at the symbol here. I'm gonna tap it, and then you go to a separate panel for your stats. Okay, so that's where you find how many stitches you have done. And also, if you have a highlight box, it does a separate calculation within the highlight box. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So 905, let me bring it back here. 905. It's a green. And I can park down, so I'm going to start my stitches from the right there and take it. No, I'm going to start from the left here. So I need to have a strategy so I can take my thread downwards. Suzanne has done 651 stitches tonight. Yeah, amazing. From the beginning of the stream. Kimberly says, does Saga save between devices? What do you mean by devices? You mean to be able to on the same platform? So if you move from Apple device to another Apple device, yes, you can do a global save. You can save the patterns individually, or you can just save everything you have on Saga. I'll show you in a bit because it's an important function. But this function, I believe, the global one, does not exist yet on Android because they stopped developing the Android version due to the ban. But the iOS version does have the feature. Let me finish these stitches and I'll show you to it. It's important. It's important backup because particularly, you know, if you have lots of projects, and also you do, you know, cross-country type of stitches, you don't want to have to sort of mark everything if you transfer to another device. I'll show you in a bit, okay? Let me finish all these green stitches. And I learned this from the chat as well. I think it's Jan. I haven't seen Jen for a little bit. Jen, though, she's kind of a Saga genius. And she knows everything about Saga, I believe. We learn a lot of tips from her. And this was one of the biggies. Okay, let me just finish all these 3 stitches and park. We're very blessed to have a lot of subject matter experts in the chat. Okay, let me do this one. I think maybe, yes, this is the last one. I'm thinking whether I should park. It's not very long there. Oh, it's so pretty. Look, there's a little green going on there. I am going to park downwards below here. And it's 2 stitches from here. 1, 2 here. All right. So I'm going to show you how to save your pattern. Okay, it's important. To be honest, I'll be honest, I try to do it at least once a week. I don't do it every day because I don't remember. Okay, but what you can do, let me bring out my, oh, so you have Apple device, so it's the same as mine. Okay, so what you do, you need to come out of the chart view here and come back to all your thumbnails here for your projects. Okay, so I've got a few going on there. So what you do is if you look up the top area where on the right there's a cloud, the same area to the left, and there are a few there's some sorting functionality. So look below where it says main. Okay, and if you want to save individual charts, you have to go to individual charts. So let me bring on this one, for instance. To be honest, I haven't done it this way. I haven't tried to save individual charts because I've got so many. And so I totally just ignore this. But if you have only 1 or 2, you want to save them individually after each session, you can tap on the 3 dots on the bottom right corner of each thumbnail. And you can open it. And there are some options there. And I'll be honest with you, Kimberly, I don't know which one you should be picking because I have tried them. Maybe Suzanne knows. I don't know which one's correct. I've tried them, and the ones I've tried, the save file, I tried to load it on my iPhone. It didn't work. It loaded the chart, but it was blank. Okay, so I need some more advice on this one. But I would say just ignore it and go to the global saving because it saves everything you're looking at here. So what you want to do if you're on iOS, I don't know if you're on, I don't think this function, global saving, exists on Android. Okay, so if you're on iOS, watch this. Long press and hold the main icon. So can you see that black icon says main? My fingers on top of it and long press. Okay. You need to press a couple of seconds and this pops up. And it tells you how many patterns you've got there. And what you want to do is to stack backup. What it is a global saving of everything you have within the app, every single pattern there. Okay, so if you tap the stack backup, and it would take a few seconds. It will take a few seconds before it responds. You might think it's frozen, it's not. Maybe if you have a super duper iPad, it's a bit quicker, but mine is pretty old. It takes a little while, and just leave it until it brings up the next message box. I'm going to leave it for a bit, and it should pop up and give you options to it asks you where you want to save the file. So what it does, it's saving at the moment. It's grabbing all information, including the completed stitches, the progress. That's what we want, isn't it? Because the blank charts, we can load them up. It's not too bad. It's the progress we want. So it's saving everything, including the progress, stats, percentages, everything. And it's going to save it into a zip file. And you can tell the app where to send the file to. So it could be your iCloud space, your Google Map, Google Drive space, anywhere. And it will give you option. It will ask you to do that. So it's still doing it. I don't know when it's going to come up anytime soon. But then you just send the file over. Normally, I just send it over to my Google Drive there. Okay, let me see if I think it's still doing it. Anyway, so it's what's going to happen. But what you need to do is long press this black icon on the upper left here says main, and then you'll get a pop-up option and go for the stack save. And everything is saved. So the zip file will be biggish, okay, depending on how many charts you've got there. And just save it somewhere as a backup. Normally, what I do is, if I save for the second time, let's say if I come back and global save in a week's time, I will keep at least one version of the previous ones as a backup, just in case something mess up. So I normally keep two versions. One is the one I've just saved, and then one that's previous. And the older ones I'll delete because they're quite big in my case, because I've got so many charts. So it's up to you how you manage your backup. But I would recommend that you keep at least, two, just in case one is messed up or corrupt or something goes wrong. At least you have the previous ones that you can revert back to. So that's what I do here. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you're on Android, I have no idea. I think you can do file by file. So Suzanne has just says that, let me see if it's referring to, let me read it carefully. Suzanne says, so what you should do if you want to move it to another device is do the backup and pattern it turn off before I could see it. I don't know what that means, Suzanne. I don't know. Do you guys understand it? There's another message. Open the individual saved again so I can see what it looks like on iOS. I'm not quite understanding. Maybe it's referring to Android. Okay, yes, Kimberly, no problem. And yes, so Kimberly is picking up what Suzanne is saying. I didn't, sorry. But yes, I'm glad that's helpful there. Yes, Kimberly, if you've got iOS, things are a lot easier. You just do a global save rather than fiddling with individual files. Because, ultimately, we want to save everything when we transfer everything to another device, right? So let me bring back my chart here. Here we go. Right, so this one is done, the green ones. I move on to the next one. $9.06. Oh, I see, Suzanne. You want me to bring up the pop-up for... I think we did this before, because I tried a couple of things, because the wording is very confusing there. I'll maybe do that in a bit. I just want to get back to the stitching a little bit. Yes, I think what Susan is asking for me to open up the popover via individual charts there. I'll do that in a bit. Do that in a bit. I think we did that. We tried this last time, and also when I was testing it by myself, I tried all the obvious options. I think the wording is very confusing. And why do you need that many options? It's either you save the chart with progress or you save progress only. I don't know why you want to save progress only. I don't know. Maybe just, I don't know. Yes. I just think they should keep it simple rather than not simple. Yes, because saving is not a difficult concept. It's not a complicated concept. People just want to save the progress. That's it. Because the chart you can import again. It's not a big deal. It's a progress everybody wants. Because if you're able to import the chart, you already have the chart. This one over here. Oh, I can see a stitch missing there. 1, 2, 3. Let me have a look. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think there's this one stitch missing on the right there. I'll patch it up. And this time I'm going to save it to my third option, to the diagonal to the bottom right there, because there are no other stitches around this area. Oh, so Kimberly hasn't got Saga yet, but you're using Markup RXP. I think Markup RXP, you can save progress, can't you? Between devices, it doesn't sync automatically, which sucks. But if you go traveling, you just want a quick update, you know, want to grab your charts and progress there, and then come back to a different device. It's not easy to do because you have to manually do everything. Right, so I am going to pick this one here. Is 891. 891. Oh, I nearly picked the wrong color. Oh, 891. Okay, I need to pick a new thread here. Right. Eight, 9, 1. Kimberly, you probably know I'm not the biggest fan of Markup RXP. You know, when I started using Markup RXP, probably more than 2 years ago, because I'm on Apple most of the time, so I was thinking, do I want to invest and get an Android tablet just for the app? And so I tried Markup, and I realized parking is very hard to do because you have to jump through the hoops just for to park a single thread. And so I contacted them as well, and I have to say, to their credit, the developer, I think he was probably one of the main developers, and he replied instantly, because I asked him, can you make parking a little bit easier to do, a little bit like Pattern Keeper, you can just double tap or something easy. And he said, yes, it's on our to-do list. It's on priority list, because they've got some sort of wish list. The users can go and put down what they want, and they have a look and prioritize them, right? Sounds good. But that was like over 2 years ago. Zero changes, zero improvement. I would have thought making a double tap or something easy for parking would be very easy to do, having worked in app development myself. Zero improvement, no changes for 2.5 years. They don't care. I just come to a conclusion. They're probably not stitchers. They don't care. I'm sorry, Markup XP. I paid you money over and over again for subscription. Zero improvement of anything. So I'm just paying for the subscription for the app over and over again. That's it. There you go. Oh, I unlocked it again. It's just a habit. Let me park it to the first left here. Under the orange stitch. Yep, okay. Suzanne says, if you have an iPad, get Saga. Chloe says, you could design an app, Yogi. I would love to. I would love to, seriously. If any developers want to partner with me, my background is app prototyping. So if you want to team up, because I'm a stitcher, I know what you need, right? So, and I know what I need, but I don't program. So the developing side I can't do, but I think, user interface, make it useful for human, I can do, okay? So any of you, any developers who are interested in building an app that's even better than Saga, well, you know where to find me. I'm here every day stitching. Three, 7, 8, 7, multi-talented, aren't I? I can bend forward and back like a yogi. I design, red heart emojis for you, and I can build apps as well. Oh, amazing! I'm impressed by myself. 3, 7, 8, 7. 3, 7, A7. So there's one stitch. Okay, there's one stitch here. I need to draw my borders here a little bit clearer. I keep misreading it. Oh, my little dolly is sneezing. Oh, babe. Even sneezing is so cute. Little Dolly's been sleeping by my side in a little basket there, really nice and warm there, snoring away. Oops. Magic. It just looks so complete when you finish the last stitch. Not last stitch in the block, but in the area. It just suddenly, the picture just becomes a lot clearer. Very nice here. 3, 7. I'm not going to park actually. I'm going to just do this stitch. 3, 7, A7. 3, 7, A7. And I've got one more color here. All right, I'm going to fudge this one. It's only one stitch, but there is one more here I forgot to stitch, which is a pinkish color. But this one is kind of purpley. It shouldn't matter. 208. And there's nowhere else to park. 208. It's a purple. We swap a needle here. Here we go. Just one stitch, 2 stitches here, and I completed this block here. Amazing. It's good fun. I really miss this method. Here we go. I'm going to end this one. Oh, it's so pretty. Very pretty. Look. I need a sip of my chocolate. Seriously. It's my reward for finishing my first block here. So I'm kind of looking to kind of fix this shape here. So from here, if it looks good from this point, staircase down. So what I'm going to do is to come down here, and gradually as I move down, I'm going to, you know, reset this line here. It will look nice and tidy in a proper staircase shape. Then I can start to stitch in order, which will, you know, resolve quite a lot of problems here, the duplicating park threads, etc. But another thing I forgot, I didn't mention with yesterday's demonstration, was that you know, it really depends on how large your piece is. Let me just move this away a little bit. Ebony says it's a fun method and a nice change, but it's super slow. Do you think Ebony is slow though? I don't think it's slow. It's slower here because I've got quite a lot of confetti. But yesterday, I don't know whether you saw my demo yesterday. I was talking quite a lot and talking through the thing, but I managed to stitch 100 stitches fairly, not fast, but not slow, not slow. But I want to mention that, but then Ebony, speed is not my goal. So I have the record-breaking, 60 stitches in one of the streams, 3-hour streams, so maybe slightly under 3 hours. Okay, but that's me. So I just want to show you that in theory, we're going staircase down. Okay, just diagonally. But depends on how big your piece is. Let me bring on this full view here. So if you think about it, this is your whole piece, right? And as you go diagonally, eventually when the bottom left corner meeting the upper right corner, that's a very long distance, very long diagonal line there. So a lot of times people would define a cutoff point height-wise, if that makes sense. A lot of people do it page by page. So if, page is quite an arbitrary definition of how wide it should be. It varies from a company to company, like chart creators. But you can use that as a guide to define the height you want to come to a hard stop. So let me just bring on, Saga doesn't recognize pages, but it does have a center point definition here. So let me bring this on. So you can see there's a cross happening in the center here. So potentially I could use that, those lines as definition, at least for the height. I can have a hard stop here, just above the pink line. You see what I mean? So I do not create a very, very long diagonal lines as I go forward. So I can start to complete the top part of the piece, and I'm moving to the right, maybe come to the end point, and then I can come to the second row here and start the diagonal stitching again, if you do want to continue with the method. So I just want to highlight that, because if you just keep doing the diagonal stitching in order within the entire piece, this is mini, but you could be doing something that's super size or regular size, right? Then you create a lot of a long line with part threads, which is probably not good, because it would take a long time before you go back to work on the top part. It takes a long time for you to get to the bottom, and all the threads there, you need some sort of management, method. And also the threads might fray, that's another issue, and it gets messy when you frame the pieces on a hoop or on a frame. So this is just an idea. Depends on how big your piece is. You can create an arbitrary height as well, whatever block, 15 blocks or whatever. But just keep doing the diagonal within that height, and then and all the threads that's beyond your cutoff point have a hard stop, and keep going forward. Some people do it page by page. They might have a let me bring on this block here. You could define whatever arbitrary size you want. Let's say if I want to go, this is my page, or whatever height I want to stick to for this current method, right, like that. And I can just do the diagonal within, and then let me move it over here, probably a better example. You can do the diagonal here like this and keep going, and then have a hard stop on the right side as well. So it's totally up to you. So it's more controlled, so you don't end up with a really long distance long line of diagonal line there. There's full of pass threads everywhere. So just want to mention that. And this is probably something I would do as well myself. Moving forward, I probably just follow the pink line there and keep going to the right, but having some sort of hard stop here, so it doesn't, the line doesn't get too long there. Okay, let me just change that and bring my 10 by 10 box back. So there are different ways. So now I've finished this block here. I'm going to come down and have this one here. Where are my my box? Okay, I'm going to bring a 10 by 10 down here and starting to kind of tidy up this diagonal line here. So this piece, I would like to maybe continue with this method, so I can, you know, whenever I feel like I want to do diagonal parking here, I can pick up this piece. No promises. I'm sure I'll probably change my mind at some point. Who knows? As usual. Ebony says, wasn't that project tent though? I do like the method every row, and then I do not notice the stitch count is low after a session. Which piece? This piece I have always stitched full cross. So I don't know which is a different piece you're referring to. I have the chocolate shop that I do kind of block by block parking. So here we go. Now let me have a sip of my chocolate. Ebony says, I usually do a version of typewriter, finishing the threads where I can. But I have a newer project with parking. Yes, it's nice to have a variety. I mean, typewriter, can you typewriting and park? Because you can. I mean, with cross country, if you don't do long distance, a lot of people park as they do cross country as well, as long as you don't run into them too often. You know, you don't want to run into the pass threads if they're in your way, and that's a problem with cross country. If you want to park, but otherwise, you can incorporate parking to a lot of methods, quite a lot of methods. Oh, lovely chocolate. Oh, that piece I did in tutorial. Yes, Ebony says the piece you parking in the parking tutorial yesterday is a 14 count project. She says I haven't watched it, so I'm not sure. Okay, on the thumbnail, you're probably looking at dry flowers. That's tent. 2/1, but for the demonstration I actually use one of my 14 count pieces and kind of simulate a new start there. So with 10 stitches is the same. The method doesn't change what stitches you do or what fabric count you do. So here, let me divide the threads properly. Ebony says, I do typewriter by 10 by 10 blocks usually. Let me highlight this one so you can see too. I do typewriter by 10 by 10 blocks usually, not sticking to the very top row, but I stick to the top row of 10 by 10 block. So if you do typewriter, by default, you do have to follow from the first symbol and onwards, isn't it? So if you're not sticking with very top row, but sticking to the top row, oh, I see. So the block might not be on the top of the piece. It could be anywhere within the piece. You can start from the center if you want, but within the block, you will start with 10 by 10, with typewriting by following the symbols there. I think that's what Ebony is saying. So if you do that, and do you do color complete? So yes, I mean, within the block, like now, I can literally start doing typewriting. But obviously, I have to clear my part threads, right, first. And once the part threads are gone, I can use any kind of method to fill in the colors. You can do random color completion, just pick a color and fill in. You can do minimum to max. You can follow thread numbers. You can do 1, 2, 3, and you can do typewriting. So, you know, but the first thing, I think Ebony, you would agree, if you do park, then you have to clear the part threads first. Yeah, Ebony, that piece, the antique shop piece, you do park everywhere, right? So you probably start from clearing the part threads, and then you pick whatever method to complete the remaining block. Ebony, I always know when you haven't done your homework, right? Do your homework, Ebony. Good. Now I'm going to pick this one here and start a new block. Oh, guess my stitches is going to be kind of easy. Well, not necessarily. It depends on whether I complete the whole block. If I don't, then it's still challenging, right? So Janine says, I really liking the typewriting, free range, like Yogi was doing, no constraints. Yes, yes. And the thing is, every single piece of your web will probably tell you what to do. You know, they're, for some reason, they talk to you, don't they? They kind of go, yeah, I like a bit of a cross country. And even within cross countries, there are different methods, or different styles. You can do longer distance, you can do short distance. That's what, you know, how I normally do it prior to being misled by Nikki. Oh, I'm starting stitching the one that's underneath. I supposed to just park it. Oh, seriously. I was talking about cross country, so I started cross country. Ooh, follow the rules, follow the rules. Yes, you can tell. I've been cross country a little bit too much. I just kept going. So here, okay, all good, all good. Ebony says, I try to color complete in any area that I've chosen, no matter the method. Okay, but if you do cross country, I don't know, Ebony, if you do longer distance cross country like Nikki, you wouldn't be doing. Well, technically, you could ultimately. It just takes longer. So does that mean, Ebony, you always come back to the same area and then try to complete the block and use the block as a guide to pick your colors? I think that works too. There's so many different combinations. I think the more you explore it, right? You can hybrid different methods together. Just one stitch here with this pink, and I'm going to part down. Oh, this one I need to mark, and then 2 from the left. There. I feel like a hairdresser every time I do parking. It's quite therapeutic, actually. They're seeing the flowing threads. Nikki says, I think you're going to have so much fun with a house too with 32 counts, Nikki. Nikki? Nikki? No comment. No comment, okay? No comment. I maintain my silence. You have to speak to my attorney. And Ebony says, I agree to clear past threads first. There is someone I watch that works around the past threads. But I don't like doing that. No, it's so messy. I have seen people, not just, I've seen people trying to clear the past threads first, but they try to do it from the top. So they literally have to kind of, you know, fight through all the past threads there. For some reason, some people like to start from, you know, the first one on the left. It doesn't make sense unless you park the reverse order, because you always try to park on the upper left, the highest point, the first stitch, where that color happens. But if you do it out of order, you're just asking for pain, I think. I don't know why you want to do that. I don't. Oh, so Nikki is responding to Ebony, is it? But Ebony is not doing Christmas piece when Nikki's trying to get everybody to do 32 counts. Seriously. You know? Ebony says, I'm doing 32 counts for my Christmas piece too. I'm just waiting for my CXC to come, so I may start late. You know, the other day I saw a piece posted on our Facebook group. Someone was doing 32 counts before cross, and the piece actually looked nice. It doesn't sound like the person was struggling. I don't know whether who that was. If that's you in the chat, give me a little wave there. Someone definitely did, and I looked at the picture. It looked nice and flat there, so it is possible, doable, to do full cross for 32 counts, but maybe not with CXC, maybe with DMC. Right, Ebony says that's correct. So Ebony is using one block as a guide, but cross country, you know, using the thread selection, color selections there, and then, but eventually filling the block first, rather than just randomly going cross country like I do sometimes nowadays. Hey, knits, hooks, and needles. Oh, hello. Here we go. Another new joiner, unlurking. Well, not unlurking. First time joining the live. Welcome. Welcome. Can I call you knits or needle? It's easier. Welcome to the chat. Marsha, hello. Late to the party. Never too late for a great party. Great to see you, Marsha. Susan says, perhaps Yogi is going to surprise you, Nikki, and do 14 counts exactly. Exactly, Susan. You tell Nikki, never jump to conclusions. Give me something, some material for clickbaits, okay? And you don't know what I'm going to do, Nikki. I mean, your attorneys can speak to my attorneys. Oh, I can't wait to see what Nikki is going to stitch later, guys. After my stream here, around UK midnight, we're going to pop over to Nikki's house, okay? Nikki's doing a stream just shortly after that. And I'll try to grab the link and post it here, so we can just hop over and gate crash, okay, guys? I hope you're ready. Nikki says, I think Yogi will love 32 counts. You don't know that. You don't know that. Janine says 32 counts made my eyes cross. Betty says if done on 32 count, let me just highlight this. Betty says if done on 32 counts, what would the completed size for Christmas house too? Betty, I wouldn't know that because I don't know which stitch count I'm going to do. I think Nikki will know. Nikki will know. Nikki's doing her 32, wildness there. Knits is fine, thank you. Because sometimes people have very long handles and there's no sort of, recognizable names there. And I struggle. Oh, I struggle. So thank you, Knits. Welcome. Janine says, people who work on 32 counts are aliens. Nikki is definitely alien, okay? So, no debate there. Susan said, well, Susan's being supportive, but lack of confidence in Yogi. Susan says, you could always restart if 32 counts make you go blind, Yogi. But the thing is, if I go blind, I'll be too late, wouldn't it? I wouldn't be able to stitch anymore. We need to take a holiday for 6 months till my eyes come back. That wouldn't be good. Going blind is not good. It's not ideal. Oh, really bright yellow here. Why not? And here, because the stitch is so close below, I'm going to just part below, even though I could part to the right, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just part where that's nearest, because that's the way I like it. Here we go. Very nice. Oh, nice and bright here. Let me take a sip of my chocolate here. Oh, so Natty has the spec here. If you're doing 32 counts, Christmas house, I think that probably applies to all 3 pieces. I think they're the same size. It's about 17 by 13 inch. Is that including the margin or not? Sounds like it's not. 80 to 12.5. So yes. So that's probably not including the margin, right? So you need to add a margin on top. Nikki says, I have to wear glasses for 25 counts as well. My eyes are bad. But it doesn't stop you, Nikki. You just keep going. When are you going to move on to move up to 36 and then 40? You know, go for it. If you're blind anyway, so. Hey, Jamie Womack is in the chat. Jamie says, hello everyone, I'm finally done with work and the house is back in order. Now it's time to stitch and have some fun with us. As I'm sipping my gorgeous hot chocolate here. What a great idea, Susan. Janine says, my husband just laughing at me because I have taken my glasses off to see close up, to see great close up, blind further than from my face. Oh, reading glasses, I'm guessing. Yes. Oh, he shouldn't be laughing. You know, he's going to be the next. Just get him to stitch 32 count. He will know. Here, let me have a look here. 2 stitches and I can part to the right. Perfect. I like it. I really enjoy it. This method. I miss it because I kind of, you know, I was doing this method for a long time, for a lot of pieces. And then I kind of just evolved into mini cross country with a lot of them. And I really miss it. Parking is therapeutic. You know, if I do the parking method, I'm not looking for speed. I'm looking for that therapeutic effect. You know, just working through the thread, knowing everything may look slightly chaotic on the surface, but it's underneath, it's perfect order here, you know. I love it. And I feel like a hairdresser. $7.20. And also when you're working through the past threads, you can have a rest from having to, you know, look for threads, colors, whatever. You don't have to look up the organizer. You can just pick up the next part thread and just keep stitching. I'm gonna, you know, bring this piece back in shape, as in the, you know, proper diagonal line there. Oh, Nikki, have you actually tried 40 counts? So Nikki says, I don't like 40 counts for full coverage, too thick for DMC for me. I presume that you did 10 stitches, right? And it's still too thick. Oh dear. Ebony, didn't you do a 40 count? Is it 4 stitches you did? I remember the first time, maybe it was the first time you came to the chat and you shared a picture of a web that you restarted afterwards because it was just too jammed with stitches. I think it was happening. 40 counts, if I remember correctly. It was tiny, tiny, tiny stitches. All the things we do, seriously. Thinking whether I should park. I might end this thread. Yeah. Ebony says, I heard of people having to give up on projects because the eyes can't see the fabric anymore, and even with magnification. But that's literally going blind though. If you can't see stitches, if you can't see things, even with magnification, because you can probably enlarge them really big. Oh dear, that sounds like blinding to me. Just going blind, basically. That's not good. Yeah, I think really good lighting is really good. Just make it really bright and clear. Nikki says, I don't stitch for speed anymore. I did that, the one I finished, and never again. I just love the process and how to thread feels between my fingers. Same here, Nikki. One of the few things I agree with Nikki. Normally we disagree, but Nikki, absolutely. Like, you know, why the speed? Well, I like to be efficient, you know, but that's not the same as speed stitching. I mean, to hit, you know, I don't know how many stitches a day. I really don't care, to be honest. If I don't enjoy it, I can stitch for 1,000 stitches. What's the point? It's not a job. It's you know, a hobby, and I love it. It's relaxing. If it stops being relaxing and becomes a competition, I'll stop stitching, I think. Because what am I doing here? You know, it doesn't say that I don't like doing things to make it efficient. I like to make it efficient, but that's not the same as hitting certain goals or, you know, else. I don't have that in me. I'm just not very competitive in that sense. Or in general, to be honest. I just think competition is such a waste of space, even when you're competing with yourself, you know. Why are you doing that? For whom? Let it go. Ujjayi breath. Let me just park it over here because I can. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think there's one over here. 1, 2, 3. Yes, and so for me, the priority is that, as you said, Nikki, is that stitching experience, the stitching experience, and that's the moment-to-moment experience. It's not a thing that you could, you know, target to do. Is that if I don't enjoy this process, I will not stitch for one more stitch at all, because, you know, there's no point. Absolutely. Ebony, I think she's referring to the 40 count attempt. She says, I did try it. I did tent. Oh, that was tent with DMC. I did not find it thick. It was too small to enjoy for me. Yes, there is such a thing as when the stitches, the stitches just get so small, you can't see anything anymore. You probably need magnifying glass just to see the final result. And I often describe it as, you know, certain design and colors just need enough real estate to express itself, if you know what I mean, because it's not so much smaller the better. It's not 4K, you know, it's not, you need to allow the stitches to take up certain space for the colors to shine through, for the you know, pattern to come, till images come through. Yes, in theory, smaller stitches does make things look sharper-ish, but 14 counts, you've seen me stitching 14 counts is just equally beautiful. It's just different expression, but it can get so small that it just goes, you know, going a little bit crazy. You're just wondering what you're stitching. So you're quite right, yes. Doesn't mean smaller. Size isn't always important, guys. It is true. Size is not everything. Suzanne says, I have to use reading glasses and magnifier to see my cross stitch. It's kind of annoying, but my eyes are getting worse. I get older. Yeah, definitely have the support you need. I mean, you know, ultimately, you don't want you don't want to get totally exhausted squinting just to enjoy your hobby, you know. It's supposed to be enjoyable. Maybe do larger count, definitely. That's comfortable for the eyes. Because cross-stitching is cross-stitching. It doesn't matter what fabric count is. Alright, so in this one, I'm going to end it. Only 2 stitches. It's so colorful. The whole piece is colorful. And Janine says, I've been trying so hard to get my Randall Spangler piece done for my mom for Christmas. Started in March. It's not happening. I was upset at myself first. But back to the chart rotation, much happier that way. Yes, Janine. I think deadlines just don't work well with this kind of process. That's not what we're here, you know, to complete pieces. Yes, it's a goal in the distance, and we're moving towards the goal with every stitch, but you can't rush, because if you don't enjoy it, what are we doing here, you know? And you can just dedicate every single stitch to your mom, right? That's one way of doing it, rather than having to complete necessarily. Let me have a look. Let me pick this one, the green one. Just 1 stitch. Oh, literally just 1 stitch. That's why I can never do sort of heaven and earth style saw, because I lose my mind. And also, what am I doing? Exactly. That's not why I want to stitch. Very nice. 562. 562. Let me pop it back here. Here we go. Let me have a look here. Let me just grab this link here. Nice. Okay. Next. There are 4 stitches. 4 stitches. Ebony's talking about the 40 counts. I presume. I mean, you know, I don't think I even I don't think I've ever seen 40 count fabric. I can't visualize what it looks like, you know, looking at this, having to stitch it. It's probably so tiny that your brain just starts to to fry. Nid says, my current web is 24 count. 24 counts? That's unusual. And she says, I'm nervous about the idea of highest stitch count since I need new glasses. But the US issues right now make it so I can do anything but 24 counts. The US issues? What kind of issues? But 24 or 25? Not many people stitch 24 though. I'm sure it exists. Majority of people probably do 25. That's very interesting. And then one more here. I can part to the right. Perfect. And it felt like, you felt like a gardener parking, because you're planting these little seeds there waiting for you. I'm not a gardener, you probably figured. But I garden with my thread, planting seeds here. Suzanne says, I think the 25 count might be too small. I'm trying, but I'm not really sure. Yes, if it starts to strain, the eyes, it's just not worth it. It's really not worth it. Yes, knits. It's nice to have a variety of different projects, isn't it? It makes it fun. One, two, three, and part to the right. Yes. Michelle Fuller says, I found a happy place with 22 counts. I really enjoy 22 as well, because 22 technically is not that different from 25, but it still has that Ada feel to it, because the fabric tends to be a little bit fuller, and the area that you're stitching is a little bit clearer comparing to maybe 25, because 25 now, because I've done so much 28 counts now, the fabric, it actually feels quite big to me, the stitches, but when I first started doing 25, I literally didn't know what I was looking at. But 22, I was quite comfortably, stitching, even going from 14 counts. So everybody has that sweet spot, isn't it? And I'm going to part this one to the top and the next block. Oh. See all these symbols. The stitch border with blue and the diamond for parking. It just gets very cluttered. Look at this. It's very cluttered. I hope Saga does something about it. I think you can fix it quite easy. Just changing the representation of the symbol, not the symbol, the highlight, the borders. It shouldn't be such a major operation. Oh, no way, Marilyn says. One of my cats are making biscuits and purring so loud, like I can hear her over Yogi. My goodness, that's very loud. Because Yogi is not quiet. Well, it depends on your volume. But oh dear, that's a happy cat. That's one happy cat there, making biscuits. And Dolly is sleeping soundly behind me in a little bed. This one, I don't know what to do with this one. I might do a Yogi move. Take it over here because I want to park to the right, but I'm crossing a lot of stitches. So I'm going to do a Yogi move here. First Yogi move tonight. Here. There. What? I see alarms. What's up? Wrong spot. Which one? Which one's the wrong spot? Which stitch? It's not wrong. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's one stitch. Oh, Nikki, let me get away with it. I know this green. Are you talking about the green stitch over here? Supposed to be over there. Oh, let me get away with it. Please, chat. Let me be. It's just one stitch. And it's like a whole bunch of, stuff going on there. You can't tell, guys. Can't tell. Okay, let me fudge it. Let's pretend it's just a dream. Oh dear. So you guys are actually watching, are you? I thought no one was watching my screen. And who was that earlier on says the kitty's purring so loud that she couldn't hear me. So, you can't hear me, you can't see me. Here we go. Oh dear, the alarms have gone off. Dear, I'm gonna fudge. Yes, Janine, thank you. I have Janine's permission to fudge it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, I'm following Janine's guidance. It's not me, I'm just doing what I'm told. Doing what I'm told. Oh dear. Yes. Didn't notice that one. Grace Austin says, wow, that wrong color throws the whole piece off. I know. For a moment, you're looking at flowers. Now it looks like a bicycle. It's just one stitch is magical. I don't know how that happens. It's a really important stitch, It literally transformed my piece into a power tool of some kind. I know. Every stitch counts, guys. This one is safe, right? This is good. Oh. So I'm going to end this color here because there's already another thread of the same color being popped on the right there. So I'm trying to fix all the duplicated threads there to reduce the number of part threads, right? If you stitch out of order, you're going to end up with more part threads than you need. It can get a little bit messy. 891 891 dog. Oh, Suzanne says I did a little cross-stitch paradise video and uploaded to Facebook. Thank you, Suzanne. That will help people that struggle with paradise. It is, it's not a sort of intuitive or obvious process, isn't it? So every little help would, every little thing helps. So thank you, Suzanne, being so helpful as always. Here we go. So I'm going to, do I want to take it all the way down? I can do a yogi move. I can do a yogi move to take it to the bottom left there. Or I can just, oh, you know what? I'm going to just park it to the right and start another thread. Listen, another technique of mine. double thread technique. All right. One. Let me see. Let me be mindful here. I don't want to break anything. I don't want to turn my piece into a bicycle again. Oh, that was so close. So I am going to do this corner and part to the right. Such a colorful area of this piece. But even though, you can see how confetti this area is, but I'm not overwhelmed, because I'm dealing with 10 by 10 block, and I don't have to start and stop threads because majority of the colors are part there for me already. So you can see the benefit of, oh, not yet, of stitching this method. So what I've done is I part to the right because it's the upper right corner, but there's a whole bunch of the same color at the bottom left. So this is when I'm going to introduce my double thread technique. Okay, I'm gonna just introduce another one. All right, introduce another thread of the same color and start from a different location because I don't want to take my thread over here. It's fiddly. And also I've got a parking spot for the right anyway. If not, I probably do a yogi move and move it over. And then there's stitches I can part down as well. So let me come over here. Abani says, I'm trying to help future yogi when she comes across the wrong stitches and doesn't know where she is. Abani, but that's constantly. That's constantly. When you say future, you mean like in 3 minutes away. I never know where I am, Abani. I have GPS device, I do have a Google map, but I just don't know. I have to check constantly and still I'm very confused. I blame my mom. My mom had no sense of direction and nor have I. It's not my fault. I was born this way. Right, so I can park below there. And I'm being really good. I haven't stitched out a border because sometimes, you know, if there are nearby stitches, you could potentially start to feather out. But I just want to, because I'm using a highlighter, highlight box, and I want to keep things in order so I don't have to lock and unlock my chart here, which you have to do if you stitch outside of the boundary. It's fiddly, so I'm not worried about tension lines with this method. Not that you could see at all, because if you look at the this area in the this is kind of upper left there, I use this method to stitch pretty much this whole area, and you cannot see any lines there. I'm doing zigzag, not zigzag, the staircase. You cannot see anything, seriously. I think you probably see more if you, I don't know, maybe royal rolls, I don't know. If there's a large area, you have, you know, you follow the vertical border. Horizontal seems to be okay for everyone, but it's the vertical border, whichever method, kind of, you know, get you to stitch, kind of have a hard stop. That's when the tension line might occur. But not with this method. It's perfectly fine. But I think it's more about tension control of your stitches rather than the method. Do you not think? Because some people just maybe pull a little bit too tight. Abney says your Google map is broken. Well, maybe I need an update, you know. I haven't checked my update from Apple a little bit. I think it may be broken. Or, I don't know, malfunctioning. It's going rogue, you know. So, it's not my fault. I'm sure. You'll agree. It's not Yogi's fault. Yogi's doing her best, you know. And she reads slowly, so she stitches slowly, and she goes on tangents with the chat, and yeah, generally, and doesn't know where she is or who she is most of the time. Oh, now I can fix it, right? Now I'm just swapping this stitch, and then replacing it with another stitch. Okay, I'm covering my crime scene here. You will not know. Okay, I'm just swapping the two colors. The right stitch, the green stitch is supposed to be on the left, the brown on the right. And I'm just swapping. Okay, it's still a bunch of flowers. You know, you're not looking at the bicycle here. Okay, when I'm not turning into a bicycle. So we're good here. We're good here. Ebony says, you can tell it's past my bedtime. I'm into poor Yogi. I know, Ebony, the brave soldier. And anyone who's still awake in Europe with me, you know, I salute to you. And Ebony, we you know, you can't go to bed just yet. We're going over to Nikki's gate crashing. I'm not going to stay for too long, but I'm going to go there and break a few doors, you know, down. Just as a revenge of her stirring things up in my chat. Okay, Ebony, come along. Just for a few minutes. And we're going to do that. We're going to go over to Nikki's. All right, it's revenge time, Nikki. Last stream, okay, you did it behind my back. I didn't get to go. This time, no chance. I'm there, okay? And I'm gonna post a link to Nikki's chat, Nikki's stream at the end, and we'll go over there. We'll have a look at the the calamari lady, okay? I hadn't seen her for a little while. I'm starting to miss the lady a little bit. I want to know she's still alive and well. You know, I laugh at her, but, you know. Nikki said, what did I stir? You led me stray to cross country longer than I ever felt comfortable. You tried to get me to do 28, which I did. Okay, thank you. I like it. And I'm trying to constantly urge me to do 32. Seriously, do you not have mercy? I only have 2 eyes, and they're not working very well. And now you want me to go blind altogether, so I cannot stream ever again. And Janine says, I swap all the time. No one knows the difference as long as it's close to the same color. Yes, and even if these two are not technically the same color, okay, brown and green, but this is, you know, a whole bunch of flowers. So who cares? No one will notice. You know, you look away and look back, you wouldn't even know where it is. Seriously. So here we go. And, okay, I've cleared all my part threads here. Hooray! And let's look at the time. I can probably go for a couple of colors here. All right, before we play Guess My Stitches. Oh, amazing. Here we go. Let me do this one here. Okay, and it's good that if I don't get to complete this block, because otherwise it'd be too easy. That's like 200. Even I could count, but oh, not so easy. I want to make it hard for you. I'll probably just do some random stitches on the side, just to confuse you. Oh, but I won't. A17, A17. I want to give you a challenge every day, you know. A17. Albany says, that's me done. My eager eyes are slow in closing. Nikki, have fun on your live. I can catch a replay. All right, then. Let's release Albany back in the wild and let her sleep. We don't want her to go blind either. You know, she's got a floss tubing to do as well. So going blind wouldn't be a good option. Go for it. And have a lovely rest. Abony, do you want to leave me a number? Not your phone number, sorry. Do not do that. Don't post it in the chat. I mean a number for Guess My Stitches. How's that? And leave it, okay? Leave a number here. If you win, you will know about it tomorrow. Otherwise, you won't hear anything. That's how it works. All right. Nikki says Yogi needs to sleep too. No chance. I'm going there. I'm staying for at least half an hour, okay? I don't care if I'm dozing away, if I'm crawling on the floor, I'm there. I want to know. I want to make sure the calamari lady, the squid lady, is alive and well. I'm going to check the well-being of the calamari. Okay, Albany says 188. Oh, very cunning. It's almost like she's been counting, right? And 99. 99 emoji for Albany here. 99. All right then. And after this, I'm gonna do one more color. And we play Guess My Stitches tonight. Let's see who is going to win tonight, okay? Here we go. Let me bring this over. End it. 817. And just pick one more here. Let me pick this one then. So this one, I've got 4 stitches only, okay? 4 stitches, so add it to your total, okay? And start to, you know, turn on your Neuralink eye implant, whatever device you've got there, implanted, or your aliens. 921. 921 will be the last color of my choice for this session here. 921, that can't be. 921, oh, 912, I picked the wrong one. See, it does happen. 921 is a brown. I was looking at, that was a green. 912. 921. Yes, it's a lovely brown color there, okay? I think you can probably literally count. Can you not? If you really want to win, you know. And okay, the final 4 stitches, everyone. All right, and let me bring on our super duper Guess My Stitches machine here. And if you're new to the chat, guys, I know it's shocking. You're about to witness the technology of the highest level, which I have built in my basement with my little hands and my power tools. All right, are you ready? Boom. I know the newcomers probably so shocked. They're under their desk and fall off their chair. Yes, I regularly fall off my chair as well. Just, you know, every time I witness this machine here, it captures all your submissions of your numbers there, okay? Nothing escapes the Guess My Stitches machine here as I do the final stitches here. And if you don't know what we're doing here, you know, all we're doing is for you to come forward and offer a number, a random number. Today is actually super easy. I know I'm making it too easy for you, but it happens. You know, it's just what the method is. And I'm stitching block by block, all right? And just come forward and come up with a number. And who knows, you may be the winner tonight. Every night we have a new winner, even though on Saturdays, Amy saw we have a separate category. If you win on Saturdays, you win for the entire week. But weekdays, we have daily winners. Okay, it's tremendous. And you could be you. All right? So come forward and offer your number. And after this, we're going over to Nikki's place to play. All right? And I'll post a link to you when we have the number revealed and a winner revealed. So I just did one extra stitch because it's there. It's just one stitch. Okay? Just full transparency there. You know, I'm not trying to confuse you a little bit, but there's just one stitch there that I could not resist. So one extra stitch here. And let me finish this thread here. 921, 921. All right, guys. You still have a few moments to come forward and offer that number, okay, which could take you to the land of victory. And as I give you a little bit of a recap here. So today, look at this. I have resumed the diagonal block by block stitching that I demonstrated yesterday and kind of reignite the love and interest into this way of stitching. So this piece is perfect because literally from the beginning, upper leveler, I follow this way of stitching until at some point I started to, you know, a mini cross country. But this is kind of my default method when it comes to parking. And today I have completed, I'm not going to tell you, one area and a second area, whatever, you know, and I don't want to make it easy for you, you know. And so is so pretty. It's really super pretty. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Can you appreciate? It's very confetti, I have to say. But this entire piece is actually very confetti. If you're going for this piece, just brace yourself and be mentally prepared for some, you know, heavy duty confetti here. So, but it's beautiful as a result. This is a mini piece, all right? So let me show you the app. I can see many numbers coming through. A lot of people, all you guys all want to be the winner tonight. Let's see who is going to win for today's Guess My Stitches. Boom. Let me turn off the highlight here. All right, so this is where I am. This is the totality of where I am for in relation to the mini Heaven and Earth piece. And let me go through what we've got today. Okay, let me read it through very quickly. And this is Ebony 18A and Susan 197, Kimberly 192, Ginny 177, Busy Mum 170, Suzanne 185, Betty is 201, and Diamonds 230, and Marilyn 195, and Nikki 174, Natty 210, Grace Hoston 172, and Knits 198, Rochelle 217, and Ala, oh well done, unlocked 156, and Rachel Morton 174, Frida 120, Becky Snook 205, very cunning, Jamie Womack 177, and Rochelle hit the like button. Oh, thank you so much. Rochelle is so professional. Definitely should be a YouTuber. And show Yogi some love. Thank you guys. And Betty Hankins 354. Betty hasn't been watching, have you, Betty? And Chloe 253. Tracy Parker 176. Well done, everyone. Are you ready for the big reveal? You know, 3, 2. Who will be our winner tonight? 1. Boom. I know which one of you haven't been watching properly, okay? I know it's random, but some of them very random. The number of stitches I have completed is 144, guys. Who is the winner tonight? But before we reveal who the winner is, just have a little look at my percentage on the upper left here. What do you see? Guys, what do you see? I have crossed over to 21%. Yeah, so when in the beginning of the session, I was just under 20, yes, under 21, 20%, 0.9 something. And now we're crossing over to 21%. Yay! So guys, who is the winner tonight? Who is the winner? 144. 144. Who's got 144? Anyone closer? Anyone's closer? Who is it? Anyone can read? 144. Who is the closest? Oh, I think Erla is kind of close. 156. Who else? Anyone closer? Oh no, 120. Which one's closer? Frida? With Betty. Who is the winner then? Is it Frida? Who can count? Frida, or is it Erla? I think Frida. 22, 15. I can't count. 15. I think 156 might be a bit closer, don't you think? And that's it tonight. Tonight the winner is our Erla. Yes, 156. Yes, well done. You're our winner tonight. You're going to share the victory with me and enjoy the buffet. Okay, guys. And let me just paste in Nikki's stream here. And she's going to do a relay here, okay? And I think this is correct, okay? I'm going to pin it to the chat. And once we conclude this stream, we're going to pop over to Nikki's. We're going to pop over to Nikki's, okay? And we're going to stir some stuff there, okay? And thanks, everyone. So for now, Yogi checking out, signing out here and checking out probably. And thank you for joining me today. And well done, Ella, you're our winner tonight. And thank you for your buffet. It's beautiful. Look at this. Let me highlight some of them. The delicious buffet here. And of course, we're heading over to Nikki's stream here. Okay, beautiful. And of course, tomorrow, Monday, we're starting a little bit later.